We can start. Okay, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever part you're watching us. Welcome to the daily market analysis. I'm your host, Trader Kim. So looking at the markets and starting with the fundamentals, this is our custom. So looking at the fundamentals, last week we had the core PCE, and we saw the market reacting to it. We saw the PCE coming in as expected. And looking at the charts, like the DXY, we saw the DXY gaining. And also last week, we had the effect of the Trump tariffs on European zones. We also saw a meeting between the Trump and Ukraine President Zelensky. So coming to look at this week fundamentals, this week we'll be expecting to have labor market, that is the NFP. So this week we have a major news event. Looking at the couple of the news we have the PMI, we have the major news event that we're expecting this week, that is NFP, and we also see that we also have new monetary policies for the ECB. So these are very interesting week. These are very, very interesting week to look on the fundamentals. So starting from today on Monday, we'll be having the manufacturing PMI, and that's one of the news we'll be looking at it to see where the DXY it is. Will it break above 50 MA or will it continue with its sell momentum? So that's the news to look today. That is on New York session. Looking at tomorrow, we have the Bank of Japan governor. I'll be speaking. That's the central bank speeches. We'll be having also on Wednesday, we'll be having GDP, that is quarter per quarter for the Australian. And talking about on Wednesday, we'll be having the CPI month after month for CHF. And also be having the ADP non-farm employment change. And also be having on Wednesday, be having the services PMI. And also on Thursday, we'll be having the Euro Summit. And last week we had the G20 meetings. But on Thursday, we'll be having the Euro Summit. So also on Thursday, we'll be having the monetary policy statements. And also on Thursday, we'll be having unemployment claims. We'll also be having the press conference. So we'll be having the monetary policies statement that is on talking about the interest rate. And talking about the interest rate, we are seeing that most of the central banks are cutting their rates. Talking from the last meetings, we saw the ECB cutting their rates. So the Bank of England cutting their rates. We also saw the Bank of Canada cutting their rates. So we've been seeing most of the central banks has been cutting it. We also saw the RBA, the Reserve Bank of Australia. We also saw the Reserve Bank of New Zealand. So, but this week will be very interesting to see the ECB, that is the European central banks. And looking at this one, you can see you're expecting for a rate cut from 2.9 to 2.6. So also, that's one of the major event we should look on the Euro pairs. Also on Friday, so on Friday we'll be having the NFP. And talking about the NFP, this is one of the event we'll be projecting it in our offices, that is on the lecture chambers. So that is it on the fundamentals. Also later on Friday, we'll be having the Jerome Powell will be speaking. That is the Fed Chair Powell will be speaking. Jerome Powell will be speaking. And also we see on Sunday, we'll be having a daylight saving time shift. And talking about the daylight saving time shift, that's where you see that we should have a difference of 1 hour, like a starting of the London, a starting of the New York session. So, but that's the news for this week. So diving in to look on the technicals. So we have looked on the fundamentals, as we know, the fundamentals and the drivers of the market. So diving in to look at the technicals, we can start with the idea of the DXY. But we can start with the idea of the DXY. So looking at the markets, talking about the DXY, we saw last week the market has been selling. So for a couple of some days, we've been seeing the DXYs have been selling, but the current market where it is, looking at the market where it is. So in the last time we drew these head and shoulder pattern. into it from this point. So from that point, left shoulder, head, get that shoulder. Then we saw the market came and broke at that 50 EMA. So then what we can see right now, we can see the market has bounced at the 50 EMA. So at this point is where we'll be asking ourselves, with this market hold for that 50 EMA for us to consider for further sales of the DXY. So and also an answer for that question is that for this week we'll be having the labor market. That's the news. That's basically talking about the NFP. So it will give us the direction for the DXY, but also talking about for that region being held, that's point of interest. You'll be looking at today daily candle. If you see some daily candle closing below the previous candle, if you see that like the previous, you see today daily candle closes below the previous daily candle, be questioning ourselves. We continue to see for sales. So it's a chart to look today. It's a point of interest to look on the DXY. So the DXY is the chart of the day. The DXY is the chart of the day. So talking about that on the DXY, we can shift to the other currencies. Talking about the group 1 currencies, talking about the group 2 currencies, talking about the group 4 and the group 5, and basically the metals. And basically the metals. So we've been seeing that be having the Trump tariffs has been affecting the market for some time. And talking about the DXY, so we see there's a lot of effects that are affecting this market, and are talking about the Trump speeches. So shifting to the group 1 currencies, we can start with the idea of the Euro USD. It is talking about the Euro USD. We saw Trump receive. So we saw the Trump imposition on tariffs on the European zones, and that's why we have been seeing the chart of the Euro USD been selling with the effect of the tariffs. We've seen the effect of the tariffs affecting Euro USD, and also this week we'll be having the monetary policy statement for the euros, and talking about the euro be expecting for red cut. So talking about this chart right now, where the chart is looking for it on the daily time frame. I see the market came and broke that 50 EMA. So we've been seeing with this market hold that 50 EMA. That is on a daily time frame. So when coming to the lower time frame, that is on a H1 time frame. So when coming to the lower time frame, you have seen the market came and opened with a gap today. So we saw the market opening with a gap. But what we be expecting on this market, be expecting for this market to sell. Be expecting for this market to sell, come and fill this opening gap. Be expecting for the market to come and fill this opening gap. So looking at the group 1 pairs, we'll be looking for more setups for sales. We'll be looking for more setups to sell because of the effect of Trump tariffs and how the correlation it is. So talking about the Euro USD, we'll be expecting the market to come and fill that gap, and so that we can continue with the sell momentum. Looking at it from daily time frame, you can see we are still on the bearish trend. We are still on the bearish trend. But for me, to convince me that we are continuing to sell, expecting to see some sort of break below these structures. Expecting to see some sort of below these structures to confirm for further sales on Euro USD. Be expecting for further sales on the group 1, that is on Euro USD. So looking on another pair is the GBP USD. Another trade we can talk about is a GBP USD. Here it is, the GBP USD. You also saw the market came and been held very well by that 200 EMA, and the market we saw it selling. So I'm talking about the pound pairs. We saw the other day we had the reciprocal tariffs on UK. So and talking about the GBP pairs, this is one of the pairs that for now we should concentrate on them, because we have been talking about the GBPs having premium on the tariffs. So the GBP pairs, looking at this GBP on the H1 time frame, You can see also the trade has been held by that 50 EMA. So for me, I'll be considering for sales. For me, I'll be considering for sales to continue all the way to the 800 EMA. So for the GBP/USD, also be looking for sales. GBP/USD also will be looking for the sales opportunities. Another trade we can check is the AUD/USD. And talking about the AUD/USD daily time frame, you can see we are in a downward trend or the bearish trend. And talking about this, we saw the market came and broke that 50 EMA. And what we can see right now, we can see the market is selling. So in coming to the lower time frame to check for the setups, I'll be expecting to see some pullbacks to the 50 EMA for me to check for the opportunities to continue selling on AUD/USD. Another pair we can check is NZD/USD. NZD/USD, we also saw these markets. We also saw the central banks, that is RBA, we also saw BNZ the other day cutting their rates. So talking about the NZD/USD, we'll be expecting to see some pullbacks at the 50 EMA for us to position ourselves for sales. Talking about the group 2, we have the USD CHF. We have the USD CHF, and starting to look at this trade on the daily time frame, you can see this trade is going directly correlated to the DXY. So also this trade we'll be expecting with this market hold at this 50 EMA. But looking how we're expecting on this week, the metrics, we'll be expecting for a stronger dollar. We'll be expecting for further buys on the USD CHF. And talking about this, and coming to look at the lower time frame, you saw the market has been making the higher highs, the higher lows, and you can see the general trend over this USD CHF is uptrend. General trend over this USD CHF is uptrend. So, and you'll be expecting to see some sort of the buy momentum for us to look for the buy opportunities. So, talking about the USD CHF, you'll be expecting to see some sort of an entry. These are 50 EMA. So, the 50 EMA that is on H1 time frame is will be expected for us to consider our trade for a buy. Talking about the group 2, another group 2 currency we have USD/JPY. And talking about the yen pairs, we are going to talk about them in a few. And we have been very bearish on the yen pairs. Talking about USD/JPY, this is one of the pairs that we say we are going to trade it in a very technical way. And the other day we took our sell from this point and we targeted all the way to 150. So, talking about the yen pairs, we're still expecting for bearish momentum. And the other day we had the positive wage growth on the Japan. We're still expecting the Bank of Japan to increase their rates, expecting for rate hikes. That's why looking at the yen pairs, we are still bearish on them. Talking about the yen pairs, we are still bearish on them. So talking about this trade on the H1 time frame. So USD/JPY is one of the pairs that we said we are going to trade it in a technical way, because talking about the dollar, talking about the yen, you can see these two economies, they are very strong. They are very, very strong. And that's why talking about this trade is one of the pair that is very, very sluggish. And talking about the yen pairs, we are going to concentrate the other yen pairs. But talking about the USD/JPY, I'm expecting to see some sort of the bearish momentum for me to look for the opportunity to sell. So this is one of the pair that are looking at the correlation. This is one of the pair that we are going to trade it in the different correlation as the USD/CHF and the USD CAD. So for this one, I'm expecting to see some sort of the bearishness. I'm not going to consider buying on this dollar yen pair. So another trade we can check is USD CAD. And talking about the USD CAD from the daily time frame, we dropped the idea of this trade breaking above 50 EMA. We saw the other day this market came and been held very well by this order block. These are daily order block, and we saw the market reacting to it. And we talked about the idea of this trade going all the way to the previous highs. We talked about the idea of this trade going all the way to the previous highs, and this was the effect of the oil prices declining. So talking about USD CAD, we're still expecting for buy momentum. Talking about USD CAD, you're expecting a buy momentum. When coming to look on the H1 time frame, you can see the 50 EMA has been acting as a support region. So also expecting for a pullback over there to the 50 EMA to get for an entry for us to consider USD CAD for a buy. USD CAD is one of the pair that we are very, very bullish on it. This is one of the pair that we are very bullish on it. We'll be expecting for a buy momentum. Another trade we can check is the GPPs. That is the group 3. And talking about the group 3, we have the GPP-UD. Talking about the GPP-UD, you can see the trade, looking at it on the daily time frame, you can see the market as a approach to a resistance region. The trade has approached the resistance region. So at this point, I'd be expected to see some sort of a pullback for me to look for the buying opportunities. Also, we can check also if we get some sort of the break and the retest above the high. If you get some break and the retest above the high, also we'll be expecting for a buy continuation on the GPP. And talking about the GPP, is something that we have discussed, that we had a reciprocal on the tariffs. So we saw the other day having the reciprocal tariffs on UK. That's why we are seeing a lot of easiness on the GPPs. We've been seeing a lot of easiness on the GPP. Talking about the GPP pairs, we've been seeing them buying. And talking about another pair we can check is a GPP card. And talking about the GPP card, you can see also this one of the pair, also the market has approached to a resistance region. So still we'll be expecting for a break above the high and the latest for us to look for the opportunities to buy. So talking about this one, we'll be expecting to see some sort of the break above the highs and the latest for us to look for the opportunities to buy. But also if the market will give us some reversals, also we'll be expecting to see the market going all the way to the 50 MA. So at the 50 MA, so at the point of weight transfer, we'll be checking on the GPP card that 50 EMA. Talking about the GPPs, talking about the GPP card, also talking about the GPP-UD, we've been seeing that the 50 EMA has been acting as a support region. So we'll be expecting the market, even if we said we'll be selling all the way to the 50 EMA. So at the 50 EMA is a point of interest for us to check for the opportunities to buy. So looking at this one, on the GPP, we'll be expecting for a break above the highs and the latest. So talking about another GPP is the GPP-NZ. GPP-NZ, we also saw the market came and broke the previous high. You can see these markets have been changing the trend. So talking about this one, we'll be expecting for the market to give us some bounce. We'll be expecting for a pullback. We'll be expecting a pullback at this region for us to look for the buy opportunities on the GPP-NZ. If you get some pullback at this region, so I'll be checking for the buy opportunities that is on the GPP-NZ. So another pair we can check is the GPP-CHF. Talking about the GPP-CHF, nothing much because the trade still is on a consolidation, that is on the daily time frame, on the H1 time frame. So still I'll be expecting to see some pullback at the 50 MA for continuation of a buy. So another trade we can check another trade we can check is the euros. That trade we can check is the euros. And talking about the euros, have the euro card. It is have the euro card. And looking at this trade on the daily time frame, you saw the market came and broke this 50 MA, and still we're seeing the market it is buying. So when coming to look on the H1 time frame, you can see the market has been reacting to this 50 MA. This 50 MA. Also, we'll be expecting to see some sort of the pullback all the way to the 50 MA to see if we can get some buy opportunities. And talking about the euros, we will say that I'll be expecting a red cut. So we'll be expecting a red cut on the ECB. Another pair we can check is a Euro AUD. Euro AUD, you can see the market has been acting to this trade. And you can see the market came in and gave us a very clean W pattern. So the market has approached a very critical region, that is a resistance region. So at this point is where we'll be checking to see if we can get some sort of the reversals. So at this point is where we'll be checking if we can get some reversal patterns. So last to see if we can get some pullbacks. But if we don't get some pullback, we'll be expecting for a break above the highs and a retest for continuation of a buy on Euro USD. So another pair we can check is a Euro CHF. The trade we can check is a Euro CHF. So looking at this trade from the daily time frame, see the market came and retested these are 50 EMA, that is on daily time frame. But for me, I will not be looking for the Euro CHF, not unless I see some bigger pullbacks. And at this one of the market, we'll be talking sometime, be expecting some bigger pullbacks all the way to the previous high. So looking at this market right now, you can see the market is in between the EMAs. There is a trade to avoid for now. So another trade we can check we have is the yen pairs, and the yen pairs we have been very, very bearish on them. So talking about the Japan, we have been seeing the Japan has been stabilizing. Talking about the positive wage growth, talking about the metrics. We have been seeing the metrics have been very stronger, and also we'll be expecting for a rate hike, expecting for a rate hike on the Bank of Japan. So we'll be seeing the Japan economies have been performing very well. So that's why looking at the yen pairs, we're still bearish on it. And I'm talking about the Euros JPY. Talking about the Euros JPY, it is. And I'm talking about this trade from the daily time frame. You can see still we're very, very bearish on this trade. Talking about the Euro JPY, we're still bearish on it. So we can see the market has approached to a support region. So, but I'll be expecting some pullbacks and to get some trades for us to continue selling on these yen pairs. Talking about another pair we can check is the GBP JPY. So GBP JPY is an exceptional pair for now because of the GPP, because of the GPP gaining some momentum. So talking about the GBP JPY, we'll be expecting to see some sort of the pullback for us to continue looking for sales opportunities. And talking about another pair we can check is the CHF JPY. And talking about the CHF JPY, this is one of the pair that we are recommending for sales because of we don't have negative swaps on this trade. Talking about the interest differentials, talking about the carry trade, this is one of the trade you can swing trade. There's no charges. Talking about the swaps. So talking about the CHF JPY, looking at it on the daily time frame, see still very bearish on these are CHF JPY. So you'll be expecting for sales momentum. Looking at it on the H1 time frame, looking on the H1 time frame, you'll be expecting to see some sort of the pullbacks, and for me to look for the patterns to sell. So that is it on the yen pairs. That is it on the yen pairs. Talking about the CAD JPY, we're still on the bearish trend. We're still on the bearish trend, and talking about the CAD JPY, very correlated to the oil. So the CAD JPY still were very bearish on it. So another pair we can check is the metals. Talking about the metals, we had that effect of the footnotes. These are basically about the opening of the vote and the audit of the physical gold. And that's why talking about gold for now, we're still bullish on it. Talking about gold, we're very bullish on it. Looking at the tools, we have the metrics, talking about how the economy it is, talking also about the COT report. You can see also the big institution of all the big boys are longing gold. So, but right now, what you can see on gold, we're seeing some sort of the pullbacks. We're seeing some sort of the pullbacks. So, we're expecting to see some bigger pullbacks all the way to the 50 EMA. This will be interested for us checking for buys. So, still on gold, we're very bullish on it. Still on gold, we're very bullish on it. And basically, all the metals, talking about the silver, talking about the copper, we're still bullish on them. Talking about the platinum, palladium, we're still bullish on them. So another trade we can check also is the stock indices. Stock indices for now, you're very neutral on them. And for this one, we saw the market selling with the effect of the Trump tariffs. We saw also the effect of the news. So we saw the market selling all the way to the 200 EMA. So for now, we expect to see some sort of high highs and higher lows. But for now, we're seeing how these are weak. We'll be seeing on the labor market. So this week is a very, very pivotal week to see how these stock indices will perform. Talking about NASDAQ, talking about S&P 500, we expected to see some sort of the bigger pullback above the 50 EMA to look for the buys on these are stock indices. Another trade we can check we have is the Bitcoin. And I'm talking about the Bitcoin over the weekend. We saw this market selling massively. Also, we saw this market selling massively. But yesterday we saw we saw that correction. So that correction of the Bitcoin, seeing that buy massiveness. And for me to look for the buy opportunities, I'd be expecting for a break above this 50 MA. That is on daily time frame. I'd be expecting to see some sort of a break above this 50 MA for me to look for the buys. But right now, I'm neutral on the Bitcoin. Right now, I'm neutral on the Bitcoin. I don't want to get whispered because of these are bigger moves. So for me, I'd be expected to see some sort of the break above the 50 MA that is on daily time frame for me to look for buys on this trade. Another trade we can check is the oil. Another trade we can check is the oil, and the oil will be very bearish on it. And I'm talking about the oil. We've been seeing the Trump when he entered the office. We saw the oil declining. So what you be expecting on this oil? Be expecting for sales all the way to the previous low. That is where I'll be targeting for oil. Looking at it on the H1 time frame, I'll be expecting to see some sort of lower lows and the low highs. So I'm very bearish on the oil. So looking at this trade at the moment, you can see we have some sort of importance. So I'll be expecting to see some sort of buy the sales patterns on the oil trade. So that is the analysis for today. Disclaimer, this is not for financial advice, but for the educational purposes. You must do your due diligence and use proper risk management. See you tomorrow, the same time and the same place. Have a peaceful week ahead. Bye-bye.